We've officially done it. Cancelled your shop. The date is Friday the 16th of February. The eBay shop has now been closed. And there we go. We've closed eBay. I said we've closed eBay. We've closed eBay about 3 weeks ago now. And I thought it was about time that I jump on camera and just give you my raw, honest reasoning why I've closed my eBay store. So, yeah. For anyone that follows me on Instagram, you know I've done a kind of like a live reaction. I was really quite emotional about it. I've been selling on eBay since 2010. It's been like part of my DNA, like part of my soul, especially over the past like 5 years. I've been really kind of like zoned in on eBay. Last year was my best year by far. And I just felt the time was right, but it was emotional considering that I love eBay. So it felt like a bit of a breakup relationship. And I want to set the record straight that it it wasn't them, it was me. Right, so eBay. Like, I love it. And if I wasn't doing this part-time as a hobby, as a, you know, a bit of fun, I would absolutely be doing it. If I had to rely on reselling as a income, eBay would be the go. It would be the king for me. I'd put, you know, a lot of effort into eBay, but the reality is it isn't. It isn't for me. I'm very fortunate that I've got a full-time job and this is just a side hustle. Like, I don't even do it for the money element. I just enjoy it. But obviously the aim is to make some money, right? That's the aim of this game. So there was a few things that helped me make my decision. One was family. So I've got 2 young kids, a wife, 2 young kids, and you know, they were getting to the age where my little boy's going to go to school in September. My little girl is getting to 2 years old. For anyone that's got a 2-year-old, you know, that's generally quite a difficult time. So quite demanding of time in a good way. And, you know, conscious that my little boy's going to be going to school in September, I wanted to, you know, take the opportunity to try and get some time back in my day, right? So that's one element. 2 was I got a promotion at work as well. And I kind of wanted to give that kind of 110% effort where I could. So I knew I had to give up something, and eBay seemed the logical place to step back from. And 3, I noticed very early on that my profit margins were getting squeezed a lot. And I was having, towards the end of the year, I was having to really push promotions, increase promoted listings. It was becoming a little bit more difficult, right, for me. And I got niched last year. If anyone knows my journey, I started off as an everything seller. I actually started off back in 2010 selling steam cleaners. Then I kind of didn't really touch it for a number of years. And then kind of pre-COVID, kind of got watching a number of other YouTubers, got back, you know, got the buzz back, and then really kind of got into it. Started off as an everything seller, which everyone probably should do, I think, in this game. And then last year kind of niched into footwear, and yeah, I had my best year, right? So last year we turned over, as eBay alone, we turned over £40,000, 36,000 kind of post after fees, so 36,000 after fees, which was a good year for me considering that was part-time. And I was listing 5 items every single day. We sold 1,600 items last year at an average sale price of £25. And for anyone that's maybe looking to do it full time, or looking, like I found that model was like the sweet spot for me, and trainers kind of hit that sweet spot of being able to achieve those higher consistent margins. So if I was going to do it full time, I would literally just scale up that exact model. That was working for me. I would just do the exact same thing and carry on. But as I say, there was a number of things that changed this year. I kind of just lost my love for it a little bit. Ultimately, it felt like a paid job, right? I was coming in, and I was coming, like, I'm filming this, by the way, 9:30 at night. And this would typically be the time that I'd come in to the cabin and start like photographing items and listing items. And I was really conscious of my time. Like, I had the process now down. I was coming in and spending, you know, a minute. I was trying to get like photographs into a minute. I was trying to get listings into a minute. Like, it always took a little bit longer, but you know, it didn't take too much time. But then when I started to equate the time that I was on Vinted, or I was down in charity shops, or I was at the boot sales, like, the processing was getting easier, but I still acknowledged there was a lot of time spent on sourcing the items. Like, it wasn't just, you know, list 5 and it took me, you know, 20 minutes as an example, right? Because there was other little times or pockets in the day where I was sourcing online. So, yeah, I'm rambling on a little bit, aren't I? But I just wanted to say, like, it was a really great year. And for anyone that's maybe looking to do this full time, or looking to, you know, just have an easier eBay life, then that model worked for me. You know, 5 items a day, 1,600 items sold, £25 profit, £25 average sale price, £36,000 net after fees. Really good. I think, well, you know, my average cost of goods was about 12 to 13. So it's probably about 50% profit margin. Not bad. Happy with that. Really, really happy. But, you know, ultimately pay tax on everything as well. And yeah, it's just like, I just started to lose my love for it a little bit for the reasons I mentioned. And unfortunately, you guys are going to be, you know, sick of hearing this, but Whatnot stole my heart a little bit towards the beginning of this year. And I spoke about it a lot in my interviews on the Flipping Pod, which is coming back, by the way. I spoke about it a lot, but, you know, I believe live selling has a place in this game. It may not be for everyone, and it is a completely different model compared to eBay, because the average sale price may be a lot lower, but you can churn a lot of stock in a short amount of time, you know. So in my first show, we sold out, almost every show I sell out 50 items within an hour. I've never sold 50 items ever in a day on eBay, like nowhere near. I probably sold like maybe like 15 items a day. Like, we had some good days, right? But nowhere near 50 items in a day. And I appreciate it was a lot lower sale price, but like, it's a good fun community. And I enjoyed that. Like, I think naturally in me, like, I enjoy being in front of a camera, speaking, interacting with people, having like live dialogues, and like, rather than just being here in a photo box like on my own, like, it's fun to be part of a community and interacting with people. Reselling can be quite a lonely space, and that's why I'm actively part of the community, because it helps push you on, it helps drive you, it helps, like, in those days where you don't really feel up to it, like watching a few videos, listening to a few people, jumping on Instagram, it helps, like, that encouragement. So that's why I'm part of the community. But, you know, if it was, and I say Whatnot was a little bit more like rewarding in that sense, like, it's very community focused, and, you know, you're engaging with people, whereas on eBay you're just a man behind a camera and you're listing blah blah blah. Ultimately, it felt like part-time employed by eBay. It was probably the best. I know, but I could, you know, set my margins, right? So I could choose when I wanted to work. I can ultimately decide how much money I take home, depending on how much effort I put in. With eBay, it's definitely an effort game. The algorithm definitely rewards you for consistent listing, like 100%. Like, that is the list good quality stock frequently. Full stop. There's no other course you need to buy. That is the game. That is the game. And don't have any defects. Like, try and keep your top rated status on all your listings. Try and give, like, the best customer service you possibly can. And, you know, even when you think the buyer's not playing game, not, you know, maybe not correct, not right, just let it go, give a refund, accept a return, and get on with the day. My miss used to be, my missus, who sometimes helps Susan package, like, no, you shouldn't be doing that. Like, you shouldn't give them another, like, if an item I shipped out, couldn't get delivered, got shipped back, I was then trying to rearrange delivery. She was like, you should charge them again, or whatever it may be. I'm like, no, like, I'd rather keep 100% feedback. Like, and that might not be the right, but for me, it was like my ultimate. I wanted to keep that eBay metric high, because the algorithm rewards you if you have if you keep your metrics high, like, you know, low, you know, delivery rate, and, you know, time of deliveries and all that stuff. So make sure you've got all the right metrics set. and just try to exceed the customer expectations, and just try and list good quality stock frequently. Full stop, job done, and you will crush eBay. That's all you need to do. But as I say, I was noticing that it was getting more and more competitive, naturally. And the fees were starting to bug me a little bit because, you know, you're paying 12% standard and then you're having to promote, you're having to do those promotions now on top of it. And that's like a never ending game. Everyone started to, you know, it was 1%, now it's minimum 2%, but everyone wants to kind of just be a little bit above that, so that's 3%. So really I was paying 15% fees on everything and I was doing free shipping, and vintage was becoming more crowded. It was just getting a little bit more difficult, right? So it all just fell between, you know, the family life, the job promotion, the eBay fees, the sourcing side of things. It just felt, you know, and being part of the game, but I've done it for 4 years. Like, it just felt like, and whatnot, all these kind of things just kind of come together, collided at once. And yeah, I made the decision to step away from eBay. It's not clickbait, it's done. And it's weird. It is weird to say that because I love it. Love it. For anyone that's followed me on these other platforms or followed them on here, you guys know that I love eBay. And I'm not married to this decision, guys. Like, I've had so many messages going, you made a mistake, blah, 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 blah. Ultimately, one, it's my business. I do what I want. And I don't mean that in a mean way, but like, it is like, I don't need to take orders from anyone doing this. I do what I want. And I made that decision. I'm sticking to the decision for the time being, but I'm not married to it, guys. Like, if in 3, 4, 6 months time, 2 years time, I want to go back to eBay, guess what? I'll go back to eBay. And I might still list the occasional personal item on eBay. I don't know how it's going to work because I've got a business account, but if I still want to list the occasional one item, I will, right? I'm not married to like, I'm never doing eBay again. No, I'm just saying, like, for the time being, I'm stopping, and it feels right. I've not regretted it. It's been nice, like, not having that pressure. It wasn't really pressure, but like pressure of having to do 5 a day. Like, it was non-negotiable for me last year. Had to do it, and I saw the results from it. So anyway, hope that kind of gives you a bit of a sense on why I stepped away. And sorry, it's a bit of a ramble, but between all those elements, that explains my decision and my reasoning behind it. Hope you've enjoyed this video, and we will be getting back to the Flipping Pod series coming soon. We've got Becky's Bazaar coming up following, hopefully, the resale summit. So absolutely buzzing for that. Cannot wait to meet everyone. Not sure if this is going live before or afterwards, but yeah, really looking forward to that. It's great to be part of the community. I'm not going anywhere. I'm still part of the reselling space. I'm just changing the way I do things for the time being. And yeah, I can't wait to see where this takes me. Tag along for the ride. I'll be documenting it as I always do on my Instagram at Thefliproom, and also on YouTube occasionally as well. I do have a GoPro which I need to open up. I've never used it, so I will be getting out to the car boot soon. So I'm doing some car boots soon, and yeah, make sure you subscribe, hit the bell, all that good stuff, because we had the Flipping Pod coming up soon. Becky Bazaar, go back, watch all the other ones. Fantastic. I will be continue the Flipping Pod series this year, so make sure you go and subscribe to the channel and keep an eye out for those. Thank you so much for watching, as always. Appreciate your time, and keep crushing it, whatever your model is. There's no one rule fits all here. That's the best thing about this game. Everyone's got their own ways of doing it, right? And there's no right. There maybe is like a path you can follow, but like, you do you. Go crush it. I hope you go smash it. Thanks so much for watching. See you soon.